At a major electronic music show, the track builds to a peak, and then, the exact millisecond the beat hits, the stage erupts in light. The audio and the visual lock together in a perfect physical hit. But if you go to a typical show, you quickly realize that level of synchronization is incredibly rare. You hear the energy rising, but the lights lag behind. The DJ drops the track, the crowd goes wild, but the lighting console fires a full second too late. Often, the lights only manage to catch up to the rhythm on the second drop. Once you see this disconnect, you cannot unsee it. The illusion breaks. Those beautiful pre-programmed lighting sweeps suddenly look like random flashes completely divorced from the audio. As someone who has worked for years as a DJ and a lighting operator, I spent a lot of time staring at this exact problem from both sides of the stage. I noticed it happening everywhere. Small, sweaty club sets, viral videos from massive festivals. Even heavily funded arena productions struggled to keep up with the music. The emotional peak of a live music experience relies heavily on an aging, manual timing system that regularly fails to capture the energy in the room. To understand why this happens, you have to look at how a live set is actually built. For a single one-hour performance, a DJ spends hours preparing their tracks long before they hit the stage. This diagram represents a track on a timeline. The DJ manually marks specific cue points, finding buildups and plotting transition zones. But at the lighting desk, massive duplication happens. The lighting team builds a separate map, plotting the exact same structural points. On bigger shows, paying a professional lighting designer to program those visual sequences can cost hundreds of dollars per track and take days of studio time to complete. And despite all of that incredibly expensive preparation, the actual execution relies on a human operator tapping a button at the exact right millisecond during a loud, chaotic live show. If a DJ decides to read the room and suddenly drops a different track, or loops a vocal out of nowhere, that rigid, pre-programmed lighting timeline immediately falls apart. The live event industry burns huge amounts of money and time, forcing humans to manually map out audio structures, creating a system that is incredibly expensive and hopelessly inflexible. Which led to a very straightforward question. Why are professionals spending hours recreating structural data that already exists inside the music itself? Glow and Bass is a software system built to bypass that manual duplication entirely. Instead of a pre-programmed timeline, a digital scanner reads the continuous audio waveform from the live feed. It automatically identifies structural elements in real time, finding drops, buildups, and energy shifts. It then sends direct signals to activate fixtures at the exact millisecond. There is no human reaction time to account for, and no buttons to hit late. The lag disappears completely because the trigger is generated directly by the audio. By automating the structural tracking, the stage lighting stops acting like a rigid sequence playing catch-up and becomes a reactive, living extension of the music. This system is explicitly not built to replace human lighting designers. Instead, it offloads the most stressful part of their job, the raw mechanical burden of timing. Without having to worry about hitting the exact millisecond of a drop, an operator is free to focus entirely on the artistic color and movement of the performance. We started testing this technology exclusively within the drum and bass scene. Drum and bass features notoriously complex rhythms and rapid-fire tempos. If you miss a beat at 174 beats per minute, the mistake is glaringly obvious. It is the harshest possible proving ground for synchronization. But if the software can successfully map and synchronize the volatile structure of a drum and bass track, it can easily handle the drops, builds, and rhythms of any other electronic dance music genre. By permanently removing the friction of manual timing, we close the gap between the DJ and the lighting booth. The lights finally stop chasing the music and start moving with it.